Speedrunning requires mastery in almost every major part of the game. And while some people train for many years to become the best, others take a more casual approach.
Fuck that!
Ludwig is one of the Minecraft players of all time. And although he might not look it, he's actually a decent speedrunner. He was able to improve really quickly in a short amount of time, which I guess people are interested in. Ludwig introduced a lot of new people into speedrunning, including myself. Specifically, he was playing ranked speedrunning, where you face off against a random player on the same seed. You gain elo based off whether you win or lose, and there's different ranks that you try to climb through. And whilst Ludwig probably isn't the best inspiration, he does have one redeeming quality. Ludwig never gives up. Yeah, Ludwig probably could have picked something more original, but he doesn't forfeit, and that's something that I'm going to try to implement into my game while I speedrun Minecraft these next 7 days. So here I sit at the wake of day 0, not realizing how naive I was. I started off by playing 5 matches to set a baseline, which I'll commentate over so that you know the general structure of a speedrun. At the beginning, every ranked game has a structure that guarantees iron. At minimum, you'll want at least 7 ingots. You'll need 3 for an iron pickaxe, 3 for a bucket, and 1 for a flint and steel. The structures vary in difficulty and speed, but they also have different variations of each other. But they are very linear, so it's not too difficult to work out the difference. Except for buried treasure, which I'll talk about later. There's 2 different ways you can get to the nether. If you're in the ocean, you have to find a magma ravine, which has either a 2x1 shape or an L shape. If you're on land, you need to find a lava pool. For both of these, you'll need your water bucket, and you have to place blocks in certain positions. If you want, you can search it up online, but I'll show a demonstration on screen. So, I'm not going to word the explanation, though. Once you've lit your portal and you step inside, you should now be in the nether. Your first priority in the nether is to locate the Bastion. You have to use this by pressing F3. You go to options, you change your FOV to 30, and then you just spin in a circle. When you're spinning in the circle, you have to look around to see how many entities are on your screen. It would be right here. Once you get your spike, which should be at least 40 up to 70, that is the direction of your Bastion. So you should move through your terrain as efficiently as possible. Just do your best. I don't really have any tips for this, but just try your best to stay on path. Once you locate your Bastion, you need to decide how you're going to route it. There's 4 different bastions: housing, treasure, bridge, and stables. Each one has their own routes, which I cannot go through. How am I going to do that in this video? Once you've completed your trades, where you have your pearls, your obsidian, your string, and at least 2 fire resistance, you can start heading to the fortress. In the fortress, all you need to get is 6 or 7 blaze rods. Assuming you have 20 obsidian, you have to make a portal here so that you can go to the overworld and you throw an ender eye. The next thing you need to have is a ninja brain bot, which will calculate the direction of your stronghold based off where your pearl is thrown. The ninja brain will give you the nether coordinates to the stronghold, meaning that the nether is faster to travel through than the overworld, so you can go exactly to the coordinates and you can build a second portal which will teleport you into the stronghold. Whilst I'm looking for the portal, I'll mention that the ninja brain bot sometimes stays on screen, sometimes just disappears on these runs. So don't get scared when he's just gone for some reason. Once you're in the end, you can't choke. You gotta perform your 1 cycle or the 0 cycle. We'll talk about that later. Oh my god. Bang! I actually thought I was gonna mess it up. No way. No, I mean, I did mess it up. I didn't do it fully, but then I did it. Let's go. What should I do next, bro? Can I even improve? I guess we'll look at my stuff. We'll see what I or what I choose to improve on. There's a clear difference between this time and last time. I'm not a noob. This is not my first time speedrunning. So, I actually decided to set some pretty high goals this time. I need to get a sub 10 minute speedrun and Diamond 1 rank. Whilst it will be hard, it's not impossible. And if anybody can do it, why not me? I began by reviewing my PB so that I would be able to see what I still needed to work on. One thing I realized was that I wasn't implementing the pie chart at all. This is a missed opportunity because the pie chart can actually help with a lot of different things, such as, remember when I told you about the buried treasure? This is how you locate it. First, you must activate the pie chart by holding shift and then pressing F3. Then you click game renderer, level, then entities. From here on out, I kind of misunderstood what the tutorials were telling me. So instead I found Penne, that's why you're watching his screen. You have to turn slowly to the right up until your pie chart spikes. Once you see it spike, it doesn't matter if it continues growing. It has to be at the very right edge of your screen, or if you were turning left, the very left side of your screen. The way this pie chart spikes is when the chunk that contains the chest is rendered in. So assuming that you follow this line, you have to move to where a corner of a chunk border is. If you think it's the corner, then it's probably in that chunk. And then if you go to 9-9 and you dig down 3 blocks, the buried treasure should be there. In lower ranks, buried treasure is actually not an option, but something that definitely will be present is locating the fortress. I used to just pick a direction and then force that. If a fortress is there, then good, and if not, typically I just lose. I followed a rec rap tutorial, but this is basically how it goes. Select tick, level, entities, block entities, and then here, the blue part of the chart is where your fortress is. You need to remove it, or if it's already gone, you don't have to worry about it. Drop your render distance all the way down, and then you have to refresh it by pressing the buttons and making it reappear again. Then increase your render distance until it spawns in. Once you see it spawn in, drop your render distance down again and then refresh the pie chart. Then you must go back up until you're 1 away from when it previously spawned in. Now, in the chunk that you're in, move either north, it doesn't matter, east, south, and if it doesn't spawn in, go back to the original one and then go either south, east, whatever. And then you do that for each side of the chunk until it appears. This means that your fortress has to be somewhere in that forward direction. There's one final way that I learned to use the pie chart. It's done in the stronghold, but I decided to skip this one. It's called preemptive, and yes, I did learn it, but I'm just not gonna explain it. If you didn't understand any of them, I'll put all 3 of the tutorials that I watched in the description. Since I was able to successfully execute these on a practice world, I decided to run a couple matches to see if I could do this in a real run. What? Why are these guys freaking spiders? Alright, cool guys. We've now officially reached my peak elo, which is right above gold 3. Up next, we're going for emerald. We're also we're in the top 5,000 players. Here's a funny scenario. If I wanted to shoot my past self in the foot, I would have missed because he already shot himself. There's a bullet-sized hole in my foot because you see those 6 win streak games? I didn't even have to use the pie chart once because either the fortress was really close or I got an ocean exposed stronghold just like this run. This is not good because I just decided to forego the pie chart. I was already winning anyways. That actually closes up day 1. I didn't even learn anything. I just won a couple more games today. I am hoping tomorrow I actually learn something. Alright guys, here we are. Okay, it's currently the morning of day 2. It's 2 p.m. Okay, it's not the morning. Alright, so I just got back to Emerald 3. I meant Gold 3. And I decided I'm gonna work on my Bastion routes. They're good, but they're not perfect. Practicing my Bastion routes was a great idea because honestly, many parts of a speedrun are pretty simple. Riding a Bastion with all the danger and all the mistakes you can possibly make, it's important to know how to route them correctly. I spent around an hour practicing all of the different Bastion routes, but I don't know why I'm in a cave though. Alright, cool. Might queue some more games. Now that I have these Bastion routes ingrained into my my memory. Let me paint you a scenario. You just blinded and you're trying to throw your ender eyes so that you can locate the stronghold. But you also need to death reset because you're at half a heart. But then you end up spending 3 minutes in the overworld because you had to go down a mountain. This is a real scenario that happened to me, but I knew a solution. I needed to learn Bow Eye. Bow Eye would allow for me to have shorter overworlds and avoid problems that occur if I spawn in a mountain or I spawn in a cave. Or no, that actually wouldn't help. So, of course, I watched another tutorial that helped me set it up, but I actually skipped a very important step. While setting it up, you're supposed to change your sensitivity because Bow Eye only works on certain sensitivities. And I knew this, and yet I set everything else up, but I didn't want to change my sensitivity. It would probably affect how I played, right? So my Bow Eye would only work like 50% of the time, assuming that I even do it correctly. Once I'd successfully done it on a practice world, I hopped into a real game and I missed. My calculation was incorrect, which led me to just get rid of Bow Eye. I went back to normal eye. I hope you're noticing the pattern. I don't know why, but I keep wanting to learn something and then getting kind of close to it and then just deciding to get rid of it. I'm not even improving. So I spent the rest of day 2 playing a couple more games and increasing my elo. We're now on to day 3. Day 3 begins on the ladder, where I face my first Emerald 1. Playing against this guy and winning would prove that I am capable of getting to Emerald 1. So, I tried my absolute best on this run. This has to be some... Dude, piss off. Oh my god. Sorry. I shouldn't have yelled. Oh my god, Psyche, you are a monk!
Whoa.
This moment had left so much rage inside of me that I just wanted to prove it wrong. I had to be worthy of Emerald. So through the ups and downs, I just forced my way until a rank up match to Emerald. Winning this match would get me into Emerald, and it would show Psyche, I ain't no monkey. Let's see. And with that, it goes to dark. Hey, I got my Emerald 1. Let's go. Look at that. Look at that. The green next to my username. We are officially an Emerald 1 player. I'll be honest. Emerald 1 is pretty sick, yeah, I can't even lie. But that was all I did for the day. So now we're on to day 4. If there's one thing you can tell from my runs, it's that all of my 1 cycles end up being kind of sloppy. It's not always my fault because sometimes the dragon perch is weird. But if there's a good run and I end up messing it up because I don't know how to 5-bed, that's not good. So I downloaded this practice map, which will help me practice my 1 cycle and other parts of the game, which I already used the Bastion. Once I completed a decent amount of runs with interesting results, I actually did end up feeling more confident in this. Of course, there's actually another way to kill the dragon with beds. It's called a 0 cycle. Basically, there's only a couple places where the dragon can fly. Sort of. So, you figure out which way the dragon is going to fly based off where the nodes are, and that's where you need to set up where you're going to bomb him with beds. Her, actually. It's a girl. If you didn't know that. You see how I used the anchor instead of the bed? It's because I would have ran out by then. So I'm low-key the toughest. Hey, see what I mean? I can tell the bridge for sure. Yeah, I for sure can. Yo, Cakes, can you tell the bridge? Yeah, for sure. After a lot of trial and error, eventually I actually got my first one. Yes! Yes, bro, yes! And my only one. Yeah, I decided not to learn the skill again. I didn't even have too much time to speedrun today because there was unrelated things that I needed to do today. But I got really addicted to this cat game where you have to save it by crafting the items. Yes! Wait, what? Did I do it or did I not? So that's everything I had for day 4. Day 5 actually begins at 12 a.m. because I played a game at exactly like almost midnight, so it crossed over. I don't even know what to say about it. I guess I get off because it is not day. It's not the correct day anymore. It's not day 4. We're in day 5. Which is now scary because we are more than halfway done. And I feel like I haven't improved at all. I feel like I've barely improved. Thanks to a series of unfortunate runs, I ended up dropping under gold 3, which is practically where I started. At this point in the challenge, I was meant to already have all the skills and know all the strategies necessary to reach my goals. Reminder, I need to reach Diamond 1 and a sub 10 by the end of the week. So today, originally the plan was to just play as many games as possible to get as close to Diamond 1 as possible. But I wasn't ready. So I just kept losing today. Over and over again. Even against, well actually I won against Advanced. Do you know who this guy is? Because I do. If you watched the last video, then you'll know that I'm specifically training for something. The first video I practiced my PvP by training like Marlow. I won't make any statements about them. And today I decided to practice speedrunning, because once I'm done mastering speedrunning, I'm gonna have to play a manhunt. It's against a set amount of hunters. I will not reveal it, so that you understand. That's what the third video is. I will also be selecting a fan. Well, fan, quotation marks. Yeah, I know I'm just a couple subs. But if you wish to participate, you should add my Discord. It's in the description. And we'll put you into consideration. Sorry guys, I have to ask for subscribers because sometimes you forget. So click the subscribe button. You'll be notified for the manhunt. You're also 20 minutes into this video. Please, bro. We're currently wrapping up day 5, meaning we have only 2 more days until the end of the week. I gotta really try for these next 2 days. I wouldn't have enough time to attempt my 2 goals separately. Originally, I wanted to play on private rooms for my sub 10, but when I started falling so far behind, I decided to start doing it whilst I grind elo. When you're on the ladder, you're not necessarily trying to attempt for the fastest time, you're just trying to play consistently. So I'm playing kind of counterintuitively. In an attempt to follow Ludwig's testament of no resigning, I dug myself into a hole and just left. For 2 hours. What the I've been recording it? There's no way. What the fuck? That didn't even feel fast. The reason why I wasn't certain that I recorded was because I didn't know that I was still recording from 2 hours ago. If you notice, I didn't make too big of a deal out of this. I made it pretty short. And the reason why is because I sub-12'd, not even a couple hours later. Sub-12, sub-12, sub-12. Bang! Oh my god. It was nice to see my ambition start to come to light, but to be honest, it's still not super close. I have to shave 2 whole minutes off my PB. I also happen to be down a lot more elo since previously, but I kept riding the day of day 6, and this is how we ended. I don't know. I don't feel anything, bro. I forfeit. I forfeit. I forfeit, bro. I don't care, bro. I don't care. So that's how I closed out day 6 at 967. And that's actually how I close out this series, because I wouldn't return for a day 7. Considering how behind I was in all of my challenges, I just gave up. I'd never seen myself so attached. I got so mad on many occasions. I felt distraught when I lost, and that just never happened before. I think there's a lesson we can learn on all this. In my last video, I felt like I had improved so much in PvP, but I really did start at the bottom. I knew nothing, and at the end of the 7 days, I actually didn't change too much. One thing I failed to realize was that in order to beat more players, I just continued playing, and I didn't realize that. What's funny is that Ludwig's policy is to never forfeit, and I gave up at the last possible time. So I'll say this. If you set goals, you really shouldn't set a time for yourself, because they'll happen at one point. This goes for YouTube as well. You shouldn't try to get a sub goal. You should just try to grow your community slowly or whatever. But this doesn't mean that it's over. Now that I'm done and I can post this video, I'm not going to do the manhunt until I'm certain I'm good enough at speedrunning. So I will eventually get a sub 10. And remember, I ain't no monkey.